Today we're going to talk about my 2017 F12 TDF DSKL. But before we talk about what watch are we pairing with that, well, today I got the Rolex Ever Rose and Steel GMT, also known as the root beer. A challenge race car on the road, so it's kind of a race setup for the road. It is definitely not like the regular F12. I had the regular F12. This is much faster. It's built for the track. This series is $799, but this spec I would have to say is one-off spec. Now, why is it one-off spec? Well, I remember when I was a dealer, which my dealer is Ferrari Westlake, asked me, David, what do you want to spec? And that the Atelier option, it had the different colors and different options, but I've been buying a lot of new Ferraris, so a lot of the combinations I've already used already. So I thought about maybe doing a tailor-made, thought about doing this and that, but I went to New York where they had the tailor-made boutique in the Ferrari dealership there to check out. And at the end, I thought, well, I came up with an idea, which at the time I didn't know was a good idea. I said, I have a car that's very special to me, a 1964 250 Lusso competition. It was also a road car that was turned into a race car, which would actually race, had a lot of famous drivers that have owned it before, but it was really similar to this. It's front engine V12, a race road car. So I said, what if it'd be cool if I spec'd it to be like that car? Shared the idea with Ferrari, and they loved it. They said, yeah, we'd love to do a project to see how to design this car to really be mirrored to my 250 Lusso competition. Now, I didn't know at the time they were planning on their 70-year anniversary. Ferrari was a car company producing road cars, was set up in 1947. So 2017 would have been their 7-year anniversary. And what they had planned back in Maranello is that they're taking 70 of their most iconic cars. The Magnum PI car, the Steve McQueen Lusso, some of the Sterling Moss driving car, the Phil Hill driving car, all these kind of what they call iconic 70. It was tough because it was more than 70. But anyways, they picked 70 and they made modern cars with this special tailor-made edition to be a modern interpretation of those 70 iconic cars. I was offered one. I was offered the F12 70-year anniversary Steve McQueen chocolate brown car. So that was a tribute to the Steve McQueen Lusso that was chocolate brown. That was given to him by his wife, and he owned it for 3 years. Now, but I think at the factory, the folks had more than 70 cars. So for the fact that I really brought them another car, a 71 car for them to do, they were very excited. It was, we took a lot of pictures of my Lusso, sent it into the Maranello Design Center. They went back and forth for 6 months to then come up with what is the ideas, right? So let's go over what are some of the ideas, right? So the color of the paint was matching to that of the Lusso. That was important, having that same color. Of course, the stripe. Now, on the Lusso, you got the kind of old school racing tricolore stripe, right? The Italian flag. To put that onto the new car, yeah, it could have been done that way, but I think it was more interesting to do it with a more modern interpretation. So as you can see that this stripe, it's a modern interpretation of the tricolore stripe, but it was different. It was a custom one. It was not one that was in the options at the time when they were the computer at the Atelier stage where you could pick this stripe. So that was a custom. the side badge, with the Hansen horse, Ferrari Ferrari, the workshop Ferrari racing badge. At the old days, they were painted on, so they didn't have the badge that is glued on like the modern car. So they decided to have a touch to paint it on, right? That was quite a special. The wheels, the colors also matching the aluminum alloy the racing rims that was on the Lusso competition. Again, that was just, they were trying to save weight. Everything they can take off that was needed to be taken off, maybe for safety, but on the racetrack, anything that was light. So of course on that car had racing alloy wheels, so that was trying to match that. A lot of other details. From a modern 8 instead of the kind of the old school 8, right? More of a modern shell emblem compared to the old school shell emblem of the time, so that was kind of also unusual. Maybe as we focus on the inside, you can see that, let me take off the key, okay. So here we got on the kick seal, we have F12 TDF DSKL, which is my initials. I was very honored that they put that, because usually we just say Ferrari on the regular F12 TDF, but they really wanted to kind of show that this was a custom deal for me. We'll get to also the center plate also, which will also say that this was a tribute to David Lee's 250 Lusso competition. So that will be shown there. But a lot of people also had mentioned this blue seats, this Alcantara blue seats is so cool. It just a lot of people maybe use black and stuff. They didn't think about to use blue, but I didn't think that up either. The racing seat at the time for the Lusso, for all those cars, for any brand that they wanted to race, they bought those seats, and they were blue, they were light, they were racing seats. So it just happened to be. And so of course they matched that up, right? The steering wheel with the tricolore, just to kind of match the whole tricolore theme, right? The Italian flag. But if you look at the details, the overhead, head covers is white, just like the Lusso. If you look at the luggage rack area, has the quilted black leather design, just like the Lusso, and so a lot of touches that were matching. Let me see here. This is like obviously a cool detail, but that was for that was done for this car, nevertheless. Right. Some of the again, you got the rear compartment, nice luggage rear compartment, but the quilted black leather, that wasn't normal in the regular Lusso. Regular F12 TDF. So this was done just to match that. And you can see here a lot of the customization plaque. You can see that the exterior color, interior color, all the options that were on this car, and all the special options that were done for this car. So that's really a lot of options, a lot of customization. That plaque usually is not that much. So that also shows that situation. So that's the powerful V12 engine, front engine V12 engine. The 812, they're speculating that being the last of the naturally aspirated front engine V12. The 812 GTS is coming out soon. I ordered one, of course. But naturally aspirated is a very special sound that you get from it. without turbos, because already the F8s with turbos. Very well done, obviously. Very, natural and delivery of power, very powerful. So it's almost like you can't feel that it's really turbo, but the sound is not the same. So when you got naturally aspirated V12 engine sound, it's just wonderful. It's very wonderful. So, okay, so anyways, that's kind of some of the exterior and interior, specs of the car. Let's go for a drive. So we're inside the F12 TDF DSKL, with part of what Ferrari does for their racing road car is a lot of extensive use of carbon fiber, right? So you see carbon fibers in the door panel, you see carbon fiber in the dash, in the center console. It's really it's all about lighter weight and so that the car can be quicker, right? Here is at this point they're having a key situation here. Put in there, you turn it, okay. Put your foot on the brakes and you push start. Okay, so right, okay, now to first gear. Let's go. Now this car is, as modern Ferraris are very much set up automatic, where the gears change by themselves. You could have different settings here, as you can see in the setting here, the manifold here, Manatini. So you have wet mode, where if you're driving in the icy surfaces, sport modes, which is usually what you drive in, race mode, for really aggressive driving. The computer automatically makes a transmission change gears at a higher RPM. The suspension is tighter, all that stuff. Okay, the CT off, so some of the computers is off, and then the ESC off, which is all the computer off, so it's all manual driving. You can set this to, when you push this, you can set it to manual and you can shift yourself. So that is also another option there with that. But in the meantime, let's just drive this using the automatic mode for now. I've driven this car on Laguna Seca and other tracks. It's very fast, obviously. I always like to get off curbs kind of diagonally. I'm just used to it because the cars are very low to the ground. You want one wheel to get off the other to raise the the front. But really, it has the car has a lift now, and it lifts the but I'm just used to it. Alright, so let me go ahead and put on the seatbelt too. It's fun for normal driving, but I like to have it on track mode. On the left here, you can see it change. The pressure of the tires, okay, condition of the car, the water temperature, and all that, oil temperature, the oil pressure, the battery. All that was, in the old cars in Lusso, you see all the gauges, right? So all those are important, but it's all here in the computer. Obviously,
in modern cars, you don't really got to worry about it. You know, cars don't overheat most of the time. The oil pressure is going to be fine. Oil temperature, all that stuff is fine. But you know, so that's what that is. Okay, so right now we're on race mode. It's on automatic. Again, we can see all the pertinent information you have is here. Obviously, new cars have all the gadgets. You know, the navigation, air conditioning, radio, to make everything very comfortable. It is a fast car. It is just, you know, here you go. So fast, I can't even push it. Honestly, you know, I don't, and you know, what is the cure for not driving too fast on the road? Because that's dangerous, right? And I would never suggest that for anybody. You know, you got to go to the track. Go to the track, get out your aggression on the track, drive, know how to drive a car, know how to speed, how to take corners, how to brake. I'm going to go ahead. This is reverse right here. Okay. This is the automatic change to manual. This is launch control. Okay. Where if you push it, you can put your brakes on and the gas, have the RPMs turn, and then when you release the brake, it just kicks in like for a quick launch, right? So that's what that is. But I'm going to go ahead and do a manual. So that means here's the pedal shift. This is an upshift. This is a downshift right here. So the computer's not going to change for you. You can hear the sound. Okay, so you can hear the sound. Change. Okay. The cool thing is on the steering wheel you see the lights. So as you get as you focus on the road, you can also see a downshift there. You can also see what RPM you're on. You don't want to redline it, which puts too much burden on the engine and could potentially fry the engine. You get to see, you know, where you're at with that. So you can really concentrate on the road and just looking right ahead of you. It's a fast car. And I obviously on the racetrack, I like to keep it on manual mode. I don't want the computer, but the computer is very smart. It will learn how you want to change gears and how do you want the suspension. It will learn, and that's what the computer. So, but I prefer to have more control of my gear shift. Signals are here. So what Ferrari has done is he wants everything to be as much as on the driving at the steering wheel as possible. So you don't got to go moving around, because at a quick speed, everything needs to be the minimum amount of movement, the better, right? So the lights here, the honkers are here, right? The honks are here. The speedometer kind of register to also let you see that, because you're not always looking at this, you're looking on the road, so you get to see that, right? The high beams, the window wipers, the Mantini again, for changing the driving experience of the car. Okay, and start. So it's all primarily what you need. It's all on the steering wheel, right? And of course we want to have our hands on the steering wheel right here. Okay, so let's. Ready, guys? Very quick. Gets you there very quick. The cars like to be on the higher RPMs when it changes. That's when the most power is. 6 to 7, 8,000 RPMs. Changing gears at that time gives you really a lot of power. So front engine V12s are very, very powerful. Again, the problem a lot of times is on a racetrack. I mean, on the straight, it's going to be very fast. On a racetrack, if you're not used to it, front engine V12, the front seems heavy. The driving on the track is going to be different. I personally like mid-engine cars. It just seems more balancing. It's wonderful. And but the specialty about this F12 TDF is that a lot of that front engine heavy gets offset by the technology that's in the car. Like again, how the wheels can kind of also turn when you take a curve to give you a better rotation.
Hi, I'm David Lee. A lot of you guys know me as Ferrari Collector Davidlee, but my daytime job is the president and CEO of Hing Jewelers, which we're an authorized dealer for a lot of watch brands that you guys all like, and we sell jewelry as well. But let's go ahead and check out what we have in our store. Here we have Rolex. Here we have Cartier, PSA, which is a very great diamond brand. Panerai, known for its involvement with Italian Navy. It's quite a popular brand, quite a cult following, and a lot of people love it. The simple and just full military style. So we're glad to be there, authorized dealer as well.